Okay, today we are doing the Northwest Ordinance. This is a strength of the Articles of Confederation, and there weren't many strengths. We know that the Articles of Confederation had strengths like declare war, operate the post office, sign a treaty, but that isn't good enough to make a federal government work well. Its weaknesses had very bad effects, and we were more focused on the weaknesses. But today, let's talk about the one good thing. Um, the first shape of America, which I wish you were here and I would show it to you, looked kind of weird. We did have 13 states, and then on the other side of the Appalachian Mountains, there's all this extra land. Well, eventually that's going to become states because y'all know that. We have 50 states today, but we started the United States with only 13. So we need to know how to add states. There has to be structure to that. So today we're going to explain how the Northwest Ordinance established principles and procedures for orderly expansion by completing an acrostic poem using the words process. So that can sound kind of fancy, but orderly. So like organized, expansion, get bigger. So you have to be able to add states to the U.S. So how do you do that? Because we already know we have extra land. We have extra land ready to start states. So it's really simple. The Northwest Ordinance tells you how to add a state. That's all this is. It's almost a vocabulary word. So some words you should know. The word admit means to add. And of course, this is in the Articles of Confederation. It's called the Northwest Ordinance. So let's go ahead. If you would stop your video and watch this, press play. It's just a review of Articles of Confederation and introduces you to the Northwest Ordinance. Videos are always good. I try and choose good ones. I will never show you some monotone, boring video, but this one, if I've chose it, it's because it's got good information, it's short and to the point, or it's very entertaining. One of the two. All right, so we're going to click here for our assignment, make a copy. Here we go. So I'm going to make my screen bigger. Not that big. Okay, so the Northwest Ordinance. How does the United States take new land and create a state out of it? What's the process? Are there rules for the new states? Well, I don't know. We're going to read the Northwest Ordinance to find out. That is the point of the Northwest Ordinance. So this is the actual Northwest Ordinance itself. It's a piece of paper that told us how to add a state. So your instructions for each article determine or explain what rights were protected by the Northwest Ordinance. And with Article 5, explain the process for adding a new state. So it's very simple. We don't talk like this. Write something down here in words you talk. So no person demeaning himself in a peaceful and orderly manner shall ever be harassed on account of his mode of worship or religious sentiments in the said territory. So it said that all of these different articles, these different parts of the Northwest Ordinance, tell us the rights of people in the new territories. Remember, a territory is not a state. A territory is just land we own that is going to eventually become a state. So what rights are being protected here? No person demeaning himself in a peaceful and orderly manner. If you are acting peaceful and orderly, you should never be harassed on the count of your mode of worship or religious sentiments. So what that is saying is here, people can't be treated badly because of their religion. Easy. Now remember, this isn't math. I could have reworded this in probably 50 different ways. So you could put people must be treated well no matter what their religion is. Religion can't be a reason to treat people badly. Do you see how I can word this so many ways? This isn't math. The answer is not always 5. You can write things in different ways and you can still be exactly right. So we're going to read this one and do the same thing. and write it in simpler terms. Sometimes, being that you're virtual, you might have to go and Google some of these words so that you understand, because again, some of them are large and we don't talk this way. So our most important one we care about is Article 5, which says, there shall be formed in the said territory not less than 3 nor more than 5 states. So in the territory we have so far in the United States of America that they own, you can make out of that territory, and they're talking for just what we have particularly. We didn't know that we were actually going to gain a lot more land, but we soon will. That out of the territory we have, you can have 3 to, but no more than 5 states made out of that. And whenever any of the states have 60,000 free people, that state should be admitted into the United States on an equal footing with the original states in all respects whatsoever. So that's a big one. What are the rules on this one for becoming a state? It says there's got to be 3 to 5 states, and you don't have to write a complete sentence. You can just be like, okay, 3 to 5 states, and you have to have how many people? 60,000. And once you reach that, you can now be a state. And it will be the federal government that makes that official and says, announces it to the family. Hey, we have a new family member. Its name is, for example, Ohio. And it says you're on the original footing. So when you come to this family, we will treat you like the rest of the states. So we're going to treat you the same as if you were here the whole time. So you need to reword that in Article 5. There shall be neither slavery nor involuntary servitude in the said territory, otherwise than in punishment of crimes, whereas the party shall have been duly convicted. So Article 6 is talking about there being no slavery in the new states. So again, you'll have to read Article 3, 5, and 6 on your own and can reword them here. And then you've actually read the Northwest Ordinance. Even though we're going to throw away the Articles of Confederation, we're going to keep this. So here is your assignment. To review what you just learned. And it shows a pregnant person because the United States is pregnant. We're growing. We're adding family members. In 1787, the Continental Congress passed the Northwest Ordinance. The Northwest Ordinance introduced a method for admitting territories into the Union as states once a population of 60,000 people was achieved within each territory. The new states were admitted on terms of complete equality with the original 13 states. So we know that the key part of the Northwest Ordinance is the word process. It's a process for adding a state, taking a territory to a state. So an acrostic poem is where everything starts with the letters that we have here. So here's an example. Original 13 states are equal to the new states. You have to find, and it doesn't have to be a complete sentence, it can be like a statement. P, what is one of, in the rules we could use that starts with P? Maybe people can not be under slavery. Could be anything. There's so many different ways, but it all has to describe what you read in the Northwest Ordinance. Okay. If you have questions, let me know, but go back, on your example, and some things may be repetitive. So like S, don't do the same for these two S's, but S, states must have 60,000 people first. There's different ways you can do this, okay? It's a play on words to make the sentence you're thinking start with the right letter, okay? So you'll type that in. Here, if you're curious, here are the 1, 2. We actually will create 5 states. After the Northwest Ordinance is passed, we'll create Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan. Those will be the first ever 5 states after the 13 colonies. Okay, number 1, you'll complete this. The Northwest Ordinance was the strength of the Articles of Confederation because, tell me what it did. The Northwest Ordinance established principles for orderly expansion by same idea. And a big part of why it's a strength, because it actually worked. We used it. The other things like no president, when we tried doing that, it didn't work. No taxing, didn't work. No federal courts, didn't work. So this was something, when we did do it, it did work. It was effective. It went smoothly. When you're done with this, please upload. And tomorrow is my favorite part, Shays Rebellion. This is when America looks embarrassing.